Hey, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get into a lot of good stuff. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way, you can know when I get online, as usual. But we're gonna get right to the charts. There's a lot of stuff that NQ had a nice little move to the downside. And then after that, they recovered something vicious that they kind of continued. And it looks like we're trying to hold up at this level. If we can get back into that gap, I will not be surprised that we go ahead and try to test new highs, because we should not go through that gap. But you never know. The market does what it wants to do. All right, let's go ahead and do oil. Oil has oil inventories today. So don't do nothing reckless. Make sure you watch your position. The oil inventories is releasing at 10:30 this morning. So I think that's slightly off. I think they used to do it right at 10. I might be wrong. I don't trade enough oil. But yeah, if I did get that wrong, go ahead and put it in the comments. But yeah, this thing looks like we're consolidating, so it can go any way. So do not just gamble and guess the position. Don't do that. That's not trading. All right, and then the next one, it is the infamous dollar. Right, dollar is recovering something nice. It probably could continue to the upside. I'm very curious, can it get there? Because if that's the case, we're probably going to get a new leg lower on the downside. And could it be that everything we gained on this bull market from October 2023 all the way through all of 2024, people are taking more profits? I think we're probably going to hit the brakes somewhere. I don't think they're going to give up all of that. It's going to be very fun. All right, if you have not been on my floor before, our floor is very simple. I like to keep it that way. We do open and range breakout, so we're going to look at the 15-minute. That's what we're looking for, is for the 15-minute high and low, and we look forward to break out of that position. Have a nice little simple strategy, just like that. The other thing that we're doing, it is the market dominance. It's a very interesting indicator that I created that allows me to kind of see where the market is going and try to anticipate what the next candle is going to be. So just two simple strategies. If you have more than one, you can get a little bit of analysis paralysis, and then we do not promote that here. We are decisive and we execute. So before we do that, I want to kind of go and highlight here. When you are trading, I am doing a free one-on-one, and I'm looking to help everybody out. But this right here is one of the most important things that I believe in when it comes down to understanding the market. Is an accumulation phase that's over here. That's either we are breaking out and breaking down at the same time. That's where you get those megaphone patterns there. That's accumulation, very wide, and it can get real choppy and it doesn't hold your position. Or we get a not breaking out or not breaking down, and that right there is telling us that the market is just doing those little tight little ranges and it just doesn't go anywhere. And that's the one that get real sharp choppy, because you're getting into the market when everybody's trying to accumulate their position. That is the accumulation zones. If it is breaking out and not breaking down, we play to the upside. If it's not breaking out but it is breaking down, then we play to the downside. Very simple. Try to avoid accumulation unless you know what you're doing. I want to have everybody become profitable traders right in this area. That is my goal, and the only way you're going to get through that is by being consistent with your trade structure. The better the trade structure, the better the trade setup. That's the balance of your live trades and your patience. That way you wait for your entries, the better you can be a profitable trader. But it's very narrow down here. Why? Because you have to have a high probability trade setup. So if it's not a high probability, which is the balance of your stats of how you executed it and how you practice it, that's going to give you those high probability trade. You can have all the stats and I could hand you a strategy right now, but you don't practice it enough. Guess what? The probability of you executing it drops down substantially. What it do, Rod? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. So I want y'all to get out of that, almost focused, quasi consistent phase. I want y'all to get away from the seesaw lane. I want to get away from luck. You have no probability, but you just kind of throw your money at the market. I want y'all to get away from that, because we don't want to be in that stairway to fail. No, we don't want to be there. We want to be profitable traders, and it's got to get through all of that junk and all of that nuance and avoid danger zone. That's the danger black FOMO zone. This is where you get into a trade and you keep getting into a trade, you overtrade, and you get that FOMO. That's the one that eats up. It's like a vacuum, like a black hole. It just sucks profits. It just destroys you. A lot of people quit because of this, because they can't contain themselves to make sure they wait for their structure and make sure it's high probability setups. All right. So that said, let's get back into the chart and see what NQ is doing. All right. So we got the dollar pushing up. NQ, where are you? Here it is. So let's look at yesterday's 15-minute opening range breakout. This is how yesterday panned out. So yesterday we had a nice little setup. This is our candle right here that we're pushing it back down, and we got our high here. So we would have been bullish above this level, and then right here we would have been bearish below that level. Very simple. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. Just this is our high, this is our low. But what do we do after that? Our goal is to make sure that the 5-minute chart is closing above that level. How do we do that? Go over to our 5-minute chart and you'll see yesterday's actions. I don't know if anybody got a piece of that. Actually, after we kind of shut down the YouTube, me and the crew stayed on for about another 10 to 15 minutes, and we got a good chunk of that breakout to that top side. If you don't know what happened yesterday, we had a nice little push. It looked like we was going to break down to this downside, but guess what? The 5-minute right here did not close below. So what did it do? It bounced ever since. And that's why I like the 5-minute versus 1 minute. 1 minute can kind of give you some false signals, but you can see we had a nice close here. Very expensive for you to take that trade here, but guess what? If you were following the rules, as long as you put it at structure, that's your stop loss, it continued. But let's just say you kind of missed that and it kind of came in here and you waited for this close. All right, cool. This one kind of accumulated. Even this trade here was a solid bang. Oh, not there. This one was a solid, let's see, 84 tick stop. And if we're doing 2-to-1 ratio, that would have been about right. Come on, behave. That would have been about right here-ish. In what, 5 minutes, you would have got your ratio right there, about 175 ticks. So like I said, opening range breakouts are pretty cool, very simple, and we love taking those type of trades. As far as market dominance, I love doing market dominance on the 45-minute. 45 minutes seems to be a little bit more consistent. I don't consider myself a scalper. I am a 45-minute trader. I just enter like scalps, but I love my scalps. I'm never going to get rid of those things. Anyways, we try to get into this fair value gap, right? And they rejected right into it. If you don't know what a fair value gap is where the price kind of ends and meets at 2 different points. So we kind of have this with an extremely large gap right here. And I think the market kind of did one of those order block rejections. And this is the area that we are in right now. So at this point, I would say market dominance is kind of like on point as far as that rejection, because we had a nice little push to the upside. And what did it say? It said, hey, I anticipate a red candle. Didn't really give a red candle right on it. But if you look a little bit closer, we kind of pushed up with a little bit of a gap and they filled right back down, so it finished red. And then right here was a massive push down, and this 45-minute finished with a massive push up. So I feel like we just got to find that support. Wherever that support is, it catches it, and then boom, we just take it to that direction. So that's 2 setups that we're going to be looking for when we take this trade. Right now it is 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, and I want to kind of go over some tickers. If you have some tickers that you want to go over, by all means, this is a good time for you to go ahead and post it. I can pull it up on the chart and find some things for you. Let's see. Let me go with, oh, you know what I haven't done in a very long time? I don't know if anybody, what's it called? It was called, I don't think it's bar charts. It might be bar charts. It might be. Yep, it is bar charts. I haven't used this in a long time, and a good friend of mine was showing this, and I was like, oh man, I remember when I used to do this back in the days. Now I just look at the charts and I just love the charts and I can find what I'm looking for. And I do have a EMA screener that I kind of operate with. But the unusual option activity, it usually is people getting in and out of their positions or whatever. So let's see if we can find something that we could go chart and find something fun to do. Oh, Starbucks. This thing is just moving like it ain't got no business whatsoever. It's like trying to hit some targets. I thought $100 was enough for Starbucks, but right now it's around at 103, 104 ish. At this point, AVGO looks like they're going for the $200 puts. Actually, you know what? Let's do some. Let me sort it by the open interest. Let's do it that way. All right. Looks like somebody's doing some short terms over at Apple. That's probably what gave us that move. We got some Nvidia. Let's go with AMD. AMD calls. That's what was the option activity on the 31st. Why would they do something like that? Let's pull that chart up. AMD. Oh, okay. Well, it's been down. I still don't like it, especially going into earnings, but I'm pretty sure they're in for a good time, not a long time. I think they said January 31st expiration, so that'll be this Friday. A lot of this stuff is pointing down, and we're in a bearish side. The weekly is on the bearish side, and the monthly could continue. Did we fill this fair? And we got a monthly fair value gap that we didn't finish fill. I think they selling a bill of goods. They're probably trying to collect the premium. It might be a hedge fund messing with the market. I can see, depending on how these supports hold, that AMD could get to 111 between now and possibly next week, because this fair value gap right here. Yeah, I would not be surprised that we open February with a nice little push down, and then they push it right back up, and that could be your fair value gap fill. Or they do it before Friday. So keep an eye for that level of AMD. Could be a potential bounce area, and then you just wait for like the daily to find that support, something like along the lines of that. They're trying now though. They're really putting an effort. We got a higher low right here. Pre-market is a little bit higher than the close, but we haven't got back inside of this gap, so that could be the play in itself. So keep an eye out on AMD. Actually, let me write that down. Might come back and chart this again. AMD. All right. What else we got? What else we got over at bar chart? Like I said, this is like a option screening, so you can see where everybody's parting. You don't want to go inside of a ticker's option contract where there's only 3 people in there. That open interest is so low. That's how you lose money. You want those high volume, high open interest. Volume is the exchange of hands on how much times this particular contract has changed hands. The open interest is where they've written contracts, and that's where everybody's repositioning on whether it gets executed or not. And it looks like even Nvidia, they got some puts. Let's look at something with more than a week. Let's see. You got Apple calls for more than a week. This is February 7th. Apple calls. 245 calls too. So they're reaching. And this is out of the money a bit. Let's see Apple. Let's go look at it. It's down pre-market. You got a nice curl up on the daily with the stochastic, and the MACD looks like it's going to follow suit. Let's come up to the weekly. Nice solid engulfing. I would say after Fed interest rates, I would consider something like that. Apple 245, I think that was a strike. 245 for February 7th. So February 7th is back in here-ish, right? Starting with Monday the 3rd. Could it be that they're trying to get into that fair value gap and think the momentum is going to carry them about there, and then they could go ahead and get it deeper into the money? That could be the case. Actually, I like this 245, but I think I would want more time on it though. Especially if this weekly can hold like this. We're gonna pull back in the pre-market. Hey, you too. Have a great trading day. Good luck. Yeah. Keep an eye on Apple. Look at the 2.7 account, and see if that's gonna hold that 245. If it can hold that, if it can get to that 245, I would say I wanna see this not give up 231, because then you'll fill this gap here. Now we've moved a lot, and we do have earnings on January 30th, so don't lotto this. Please do not lotto this. This thing can just go ahead and continue to drop. But if it's something that you don't mind losing all of it when it's all said and done, then yeah, maybe. All right, let's see if we can find another one. 907. I'm gonna stop this at like 915. And we'll get some more paper trading in. Now, SoFi puts, not my baby. They're not taking puts on my baby. Don't do it. Boeing calls. There was a lot of activity there. Ooh. Interesting. Close to the money puts. A lot of volatility there. Palantir, Snow. Actually, let's look at Snow. I was just talking to a friend, another good friend of mine's, different one, about Snow. So if we look at Snow here, you could kind of see we've been riding this uptrend, a very micro, good consolidation, explosion here, but they couldn't recapture most of this one, and we're through this MACD zero line. So Snow can have a nice little push up as we try to get the rest of this fair value gap here. We're back at it again. I could see Snow get to 212, 211. So let's say 211. Probably gonna take itself a week, so let's get 3 weeks out there. So maybe I think that's what they did, right? They have on Snow $200 calls. February 21st, that's the 3 weeks. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, keep an eye out for Snow 200s. All right, so we kind of covered quite a bit on that one. Let's get rid of this bad boy, and let's go ahead and get some paper trading in. See if we can find something fun to trade. Look like we got ourselves a nice little bounce here too. Getting rejected off the 50 on the 15-minute. Can they try to keep some of this fair value gap whole? Let's give it a few minutes. Let's see how that pans out. Now, earlier, which was so funny, I guess I got in too early. Earlier, we was playing this on a paper trade. I was looking for it to kind of continue to the upside. Not replay trading, there it is. Journal. Right, I was trying to play it to the upside, but they were like, no. So I got in at 21,577, get a little bounce, but then it came down to 63 and took me out. It's okay. That was a good pop. With a little bit of news catalyst. Probably rejected because we had that 600 level. 618 is what we rejected. That's those psychological levels. Good solid bounce here. Let's see. Is there a spot for me? Alright, looks like the stochastic is going to try to push up. Maybe we could give it another paper trade to the upside. Let's see if we can get something there. Alright, I'm going to wait for this candle to close. I would love to see this cross to happen. but there's a little bit of space in between there, so it hasn't crossed yet. Maybe the next 1 minute candle it does. So my theory is, if we get a nice little push, we probably push right through, and then we could make some higher highs, and then we can make some real good money, paper money. What I don't like is I had an overnight level of 616. As long as we stayed above 616, we're probably going to continue to the upside, probably rebalance that gap and that engulfing candle. But they did not allow them to dance that far. Rejected right around that 700 level and been down here since, and that was about 2 hours, an hour, probably an hour. This is my 45-minute chart. Yep, 45. So basically I'm looking at this here, especially how we kind of did this. Could this turn into a morning star by liquidating this upper register? Absolutely. And that's what I'm thinking. What was supposed to be a cross down after breaking through, which was this breakthrough, we had a nice little push. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we got a minute and 25 seconds until this 15-minute candle closes, and then we could find something that'll be intriguing. It looks like we're gonna hold that 600 level. That's what it looks like. Let's see if we can do that. All right, just had to shut my blinds a little bit. All right, 40 seconds. Let's see if we can get ourselves another pop. That pop can be epic too, because I think if we continue with the momentum from that push, this thing can go. All right, at 1 minute should look really, really good as we try to go through the zero line. Let's do a small position. Let's start with 1 here. We're going to get a new 15-minute. I will not be surprised if they pull it back down a little bit, but I don't want them to come anywhere near this fair value gap. If it breaks out of this area at 618, I may get another contract. Come on, baby. Get up there. Got 16 ticks here. And because of that liquidation that they did on me earlier, I need to make up 53 ticks. They're coming to that rejection point again. This is where we rejected at. See how tough that 800 is? I think we're gonna break through, but that thing is tough. Deeper pullback down 1. My stop is still around that fair value gap. Can you do it in Q? Don't run out of steam on me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Still working its way up. Yeah, it looks like they're not gonna let that fair value gap live. Again, it is before the market opens. This thing tends to be tricky, but I would love to catch one of these, which where, and sometimes that happens on Mondays. I'll find something that's already kind of solid. I get like 70 ticks locked in, and the thing just takes off in that same direction. Mm-hmm. So they got the fair value gap. I think we probably could, and it's a slim could. So here's my 1 minute chart here. You can see this is still kind of bullish, not by much. Here's my 5 minute. This thing's trying to get through the zero line, so it needs to build from somewhere. It might be here. And then here's our 15 minute. And the party kind of just started. If this stochastic can continue, crosses that MACD, this thing can take off, get pinned to this upper register, and that should fill our gap and make new highs. So we'll see. We will see. Good push here in the 60 seconds. Come on, stay green. Stop playing. What I would look to see is for it to get above 614, 615. And then really put that pressure on that 618. I think we could do it. Maybe a retest. Can we go higher? Just trying. Like I said, this 618 level is a tough area. It's where a lot of fair value gaps was made when we made that massive drop off, and that thing can really come back and bite you for a vengeance, like for real, for real. Come on, get through. There's no volume because it's before the market. Come on, push, 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 push. Come on. I I want one of these candles to happen like right now, because then I could start off green and the market do its job. As long as they don't do nothing wanky, especially with the fact that interest rates is here or the reports coming in a little bit later, they could spike that thing all the way up and then U-turn and spike it right back down. Very possible for for opening, but I'm leaning on that's not gonna happen, because I could see the bears being very scared that we're back very super close to the gap. It's trying. All right, let's go. Let us go. Come on. Let's get that push. Come on. I want to show me like, I don't know, 50 ticks. That would have been about $250 per contract. But they're trying to hit the brakes here. Don't you dare be disrespectful. That was that 618 where I considered getting another contract. I might still do it. Good bounce here. We're kind of still in the cross, but they didn't finish the cross. Can you do it? Come on. Yeah, they're toying with it. They're not letting it be great. I got another target at 625 after the 618. That's why I was considering getting another one around at 618. But we went right back into consolidation. So we got ourselves about 5 more minutes until the market opens. If this shows me like single digit or red, I'm just gonna close it. Oh, there we go. Ah, that's what I was looking for. It took you long enough. Let's go. All right, let's go to get the rest. All right, let's get up there. All right, you're above 618. I think it's as good as it get if I was gonna get another one. Let's just get another one right here. Let's see if I was right. I think the bears realized like, oh my God, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to hold them down before the close. Get out your positions. I think that's how they talk and move there. And they're getting out, and then it made that massive move to the upside. Mm-mm-mm. Almost there. I'm looking at the 200, but I want a like almost like a blast off through that 200. See, when you get those breaks, usually means reversals back down. Come on. Come on. We got about 3 minutes flat for the new 5 minute candle. Get out the way, bears. There's a freight train with bulls on the back. Yeah. They're being difficult. Ah. That's why sometimes when you add that second contract you can be a little wanky, a little tough. They're going back into that fair value. Let's see if it's a test before the open. That was a solid move too. Ugh, that sucks. I wanted to carry it over to the open, but I might have to cut that here because I say if it's red, I do not carry the red over. Let's say bye bye. What I was looking for is that we can get something like this trend to just kind of like continue, and then when we open it just does something very epic in that direction. But nope, didn't do that. Yeah, they're really pushing it against it. Nice little push right back up. Are they going to try to reaccumulate again? Because I do think that the direction is upside. I really do. And we got 18 seconds until the market opens. Let's see if we can get a retest. All right, I got one of my alerts came in for TMUSA. What you got for us, TMUSA? I'll keep NQ right here while I go look at it on another screen for y'all. See if it makes sense. They just had their T-Mobile Tuesday not too long ago. Oh, we had a solid gap up. Their earnings, they found an extra 12% in EPS, and their revenue, it's not reported. Interesting. Hold on, let me try something else. It will be reported at the same time. No, they did not report it. At least they didn't report their number. They only still have the estimate on the screen. All right, we'll leave that alone. Oh, look at you. You're just being very difficult. All right, so how we do it is opening range. So let's go ahead and test that opening range itself. All right, so that will be bullish here, and so far bearish, but it's still falling here. This thing look like it still want to push down. Where would they go? They continue to push down. We're almost to a block here. Very interesting price action. It's just dumping. Very interesting price action. We're almost here to this 200 on the 15-minute. Probably get a nice little push there. Let's get this here. See how low can you go? How low can you go? That was a massive 5-minute candle. Here's our 5-minute. Look at that. Massive. This is 40 points by itself. Yeah, we're not done with the lows. Let's see if we can get to the 200 here. All right. That's that 200 on the 15-minute. Let's see how the market reacts to that. Yeah, solid push up here off that 200. What I'm looking at is 21,570-ish, somewhere 75, 79, somewhere around there, for a possible rejection point if we were to continue to the downside. That brings us kind of like right around that 800 here. Or did they just pull it back so that way they can go ahead and get some cheaper prices and push it back up? We'll see. Almost looks like they wanted to drop it right back under that 50, 56-ish, because we didn't get to the 70. I wonder if they're going to take out some of the bears here. Looks like they want to. Looks like a possibility. How much of the bears are they going to get? Like I said, we're waiting for this 15-minute to establish itself. Could this be enough for it to take it to the through the 200 on the 15 minute, maybe. Yeah, look at that. I'm looking for a bounce somewhere around 520. Can we get there? They said nope. We're not going that far. It's fun to kind of see how the market try to toy with some of these areas. Look at this nice wick. There was a fair value gap right here, so it looks like they didn't want that fair value gap to fall or fail. They're trying to hold it above that 200 on that 15 minute. Let's see if they can. They keep on trying to sell it. They just can't get it. You just can't. So we got like 4 minutes and 53 seconds until this candle is closed. So my goal is to finish around 9:45, which is very close to our time. And I want to give you your levels, and we're almost there, like 66% the way through. And so far our low is 21,526. Our high is 21,606. So we'll see who takes control. Is it the bears or the bulls? We'll find that soon. Especially with that 15-minute opening up like that. Very interesting. Trying to hold that 50, 50, 550. Whoa. Where did that come from? That was a massive drop. Can we get under 500 after you just did a massive rejection like that? get the rest of the fair value gap. Almost. I thought we were going to get under here and then get the fair value gap all the way down here and just continue down, but looks like they're about to hit the brakes on this thing. See how they hit the brakes? Oh, is it strong enough? I'm looking for them to break that 500 after making that push right back down. Can they break the 500 right now? We got 1 minute left. $28 seconds left. See what we established so far. It looks like we're stopping right at 21,500, right on the dot. Well, 499 to be exact. All right. Here's the new candle. Continuation or reversal? Flirting with potential continuation. It will not get the rest of that fair value gap. Now, that was a very interesting sequence because it almost like it was going for the fair value gap. Then it kind of hit the U-turn, kind of liquidated back the opposite way. I won't be surprised they come back for it. All right, that said, I think we covered quite a bit. You got your tickers, you got everything that you need. Don't forget to look out for Apple, AMD, Snow. Those are a couple of tickers that I'm staring at. That said, I'm gonna let y'all have the rest of y'all day. You got your levels. Be smart. Don't do nothing reckless. Don't forget, I got my live one-on-ones right down below. Get yourself registered. I'm gonna do it for the month of January. January is almost over. Get yourself one, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 8:15, and we'll do this all over again. You have a great day. Bye-bye.